Hey y'all, what's up? It's Champagne and V, ready to rock out every Thursday night on Pharcyde TV. We are so looking forward to being part of the fam. Shout out to Pharcyde TV for hosting Champagne and Conversations. You guys got to check it out. Welcome to Champagne and Conversations. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We are so excited. We have JJ Fad's own, and I know you said don't do this part, but I'm going to say it anyway, MCJB, because that's how we know you. Yes, so thank you so much for joining Champagne and Conversations. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. And thank you for joining us. Today is very exciting because it's our anniversary. We've been officially doing this for 1 year. So it was just so cool to be able to celebrate this with you. And I'm a little bit jealous because I was supposed to be where you are. And I thought we were going to do this live that way. But you enjoy the sunshine and I'll enjoy the balloons.
Congratulations on your anniversary.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, your champagne. Did you get it?
I got a sparkling red.
Oh, awesome. Well, we're going to cheers to that. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Welcome. Thank you so much. We are excited to have you here. And guys, JJ Fad, we know them from growing up in the 80s, skate land, all the fun things that we used to do, all of the live concerts that we so miss. But hopefully that will be opening back up soon and we'll be able to get back outside, right?
I hope so.
Yes. So we'll kind of talk in reverse because you all have something going on right now that's really exciting to me. And I want to talk about that. The Sonic campaign, you all are pushing that. And I think it is so cool. So talk to us a little bit about how that all came about.
Well, I would always think about, okay, they're going to reach out to us eventually because how could they not? There's called Sonic Burgers, the song is Supersonic. How could they not? And they never did. And I'm like, okay, we need to get this rolling. So let me try to think of something we can do. And I'm new to TikTok. Since the quarantine, I joined TikTok and I'm having the best time. So we do group stuff and most of the time they're working sometimes so they can't do it. So I'm the one that runs the page. But I am having so much fun on TikTok. So it started on TikTok. and we got so much love and so many people pushing for it. So we're like, okay, let's really see if this will work.
Yeah.
And just yesterday, they followed us. So I'm like, okay, so we got their attention. So now we just got to keep pushing.
Good job. Good job. It was hilarious to see the guy pull up at the window and he was like, I want the Supersonic. And
I want the
was like, what are you talking about?
He wants a JJ Fad burger.
I was cracking up like, oh, this is classic. So congratulations on that. We're going to speak that into existence now to say,
yes,
whatever it will be, a combo permanently on the menu, whatever it is you guys want to do with them. You know, they sponsor your tour when we're back outside, whatever it is. Yeah. So congratulations on that. I think that is so dope that you even were creative enough to think about that. But you also have a movie, or you were a part of the movie, the Sonic Hedgehog.
Yes. We weren't actually in the movie, but our song was used for the trailer.
Sure.
For Sonic
So
that was fun, and that also brought us a whole new generation of fans because so many kids looked up like, what is that song? What is that song? So our Spotify went kind of crazy, but it's nice to have those new generation of fans as well.
Absolutely. And, you know, even like you say, generations, when Wendy came on the show and she was like, I know JJ Fad, Supersonic. I was just like, like, Wendy, you know, we grew up on that. So clearly don't act like you super old. You know?
I know. I screen recorded that and I was like, oh, I got to put that on TikTok. I haven't done it yet, but I need to do that.
So cool. So cool. And I think that that just creates the energy, the vibe that we all grew up on, that we loved. We definitely on Champagne and Conversations love to give you guys your flowers. Living legends, those that have pioneered through all of it. Congratulations. Thank you for your contributions to the culture, your energy, and your energy is still so vibrant. Unfortunately, the other two, Baby D and Sassy C, weren't able to join us today. So please send them our love. But again, thank you guys so much for the inspiration, because even when we were younger, it was so positive. Everything was exciting to, as young girls, to see ladies, you know, just represent what we thought we wanted to be in a positive light, you know, not so much like what we see now, of course, but you know,
I know.
even if you did it in a way that we really didn't notice that it was anything off, right? So we do appreciate, you know, you all, because each one had something to represent what their style was, and then we could relate to that. And I think that that was just such a positive piece of what we did growing up. And even now with the COVID and the pandemic and such, that we've reached back to the comfort music, in essence, the music that has allowed for us to relax a little bit, to be able to take it all in and have some good memories. And Supersonic was great. We had, and you all have more music that people probably didn't even really pay attention to, because Supersonic was such a big record. And speaking to that, you guys were nominated and nominated for the Grammy, and that was very early on, very early on. And tell us who you actually was up against for that Grammy.
Okay, so the Grammys never had a rap category until 1989. So we were nominated for the very first rap category, which was super exciting. Yes. And we were up against Public Enemy, Run DMC, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Salt and Pepper, and Kumo D. So we were up against all of them, and it's crazy because actually that was the very first year of the rap category, and they chose not to televise it, the rap category. So everybody boycotted it except for us and Kumo D. We were the only ones that attended the Grammys that year. Everybody else boycotted. The award went to Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. And I always get asked the question, like, if you could do it all over again, would you boycott like the rest of your peers did? And I always say, you know, knowing what I know now, and I understand why they did it, but we were young. Baby D was 16, we realized that there's a possibility that we might never ever have this opportunity again. So
Sure.
no, I don't think I would, especially at that age, because that was an opportunity and an experience of a lifetime.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. And the representation that you did make. We understand the statement of not going, but the
right.
stance of still saying whether we win or not, we were nominated, we appreciate the recognition, and we're
Right.
here, right? I had a conversation earlier, and guys, that'll air later, but we were talking about some of the big records a little later in the 80s, kind of closer to the 90s, that were big records, Billboard number ones for a long while, and did not get nominations. So again, for those folks to be overlooked and not to get anything, if you had the opportunity to even be considered, then yes, you
Yeah.
for sure should have been able to take that and experience it from that point, and then be able to talk about it, because of
Yeah,
course you were there
exactly. Yes.
very early on when you said that there was not even a rap category. So how was that then to be in that space and still, kind of, you were kind of out of water because you were not even in a recognized category? Did it feel any different?
I think we were so young that it felt like we knew it was a big deal, but we didn't realize how big of a deal it was until later on in life.
Yeah.
Then it was just like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Let's go, let's get dressed up. Let's be all pretty. And we got our outfits handmade. And we had had tuxedos, but with mini skirts. So we had the tuxedo jacket, all sequined. And then we had mini skirts with the cummerbund.
Oh, you got to find that picture and post it. That sounds super
it's on
cute.
there. It's in our social media somewhere. Yeah. But the funniest thing to us was that us being such newbies to the Grammys and everything, the LA Times, after the Grammys was over, you know how they do a big spread on who won, and the picture they took was us. So we were the picture of the LA Times, and I have been looking everywhere for that article. Can't find it.
Write the paper. Maybe they can pull it for you.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to do that, because our picture out of all those people at the Grammys was the ones that was the headliner at
Look at that.
I think it was because of what we had on, because we really did it, kind of fancy and different.
Or post a picture and tag them, and maybe they'll put it up. Yeah. Okay. But that is awesome, because at least, like you just said, you all did not decline going. You opted to go, and then look what happened. You were your picture was still there, so it was still a huge moment for you.
Absolutely.
How awesome is that? I love it. Yes, that is great. Congratulations on that. And speaking of the other groups that you all were up against, oh my God, just the era in which you all were, not a lot of females in that time, obviously not a lot of groups, but how did you feel like you all were competing, even though it was predominantly men in that rap era, or did you just kind of feel like family and folded in?
We really just kind of felt like family, and I think it would have been different if we weren't on tour, because everybody who was nominated in that category was on tour with us on the Run's House tour.
Sure.
So we knew all these guys, and they were our big brothers. So we were actually looking forward to going to the Grammys with all our brothers, and all these people that were on tour. And then when they decided to boycott, we were like, wait, what? You guys are coming?
What are you doing?
So it just felt like family. It didn't really feel like a competition. It was. And of course we wanted to win. But there was no hard feelings when we didn't win, because that's hard. Parents just don't understand Supersonic. They're kind of the same as far as crossing over. So they totally deserved it. We were happy for them.
Yeah, that's so dope. And so speaking of your brothers, those were your East Coast brothers that you were on the Run's House tour with. So now you also have a huge set of West Coast brothers. I mean, how do you get so lucky to have that big family like that of hip hop? It's just, that's amazing. How was it working with Dr. Dre, DOC, the other members of NWA?
That was absolutely amazing. And they were our true brothers. I mean, we dub ourselves the Ruthless Princesses because that's what they treated us like.
Okay.
They were protective. They took care of us. They made sure we were okay. People came to look for us. They're like, what you looking for? Oh, no, you can't mess with them, you know? So they were protective. Sometimes it got a little, you know, like, could you let us talk to this boy? You know, they're like, hell no, you can't talk to that boy. So it was cool that they were so protective, and it was a huge family, and we absolutely love them.
Yeah. So what was one of your best moments on being either set, I guess, either on the Runs tour or another tour? What was one of your best moments?
I would say that I'm going to give you two. So on the road, I would say that I really got to really know Chuck D, and he's older than me. So he was like a mentor. So he kind of gave me the rundown of the game and what to look for, and, you know, how to deal with this and how to deal with that. And I carry those life lessons with me to this day because he is so full of knowledge that it's amazing, and we're still friends to this day. So that's my East Coast brother. And from West Coast, I would think the lesson that I learned the most was from Dre, and it was how to have a work ethic.
Yeah, I heard you all speak of that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when we would be in the studio, we'd be like, okay. He's like, okay, no, get back in there. That wasn't good enough. That was perfect. We thought it was perfect. He was like, it wasn't perfect. He goes, there's always better. So get in there and do it this way. And we would get upset, like, really? We got to do it again? He was like, you won't regret doing it this many times. Get back in this, in the booth and go do it again. And he's right. Because he always got the very best out of us. No matter how tired of it we were, he made us go back in there and do it again.
Yes. So on the song Let's Get Hype, that probably not as familiar as Supersonic, but I like the song because to me it crosses the West and the East. A lot more of the East, it sounds like. But Dre was on that. He did the production for that song.
Yes.
So that is really unique in terms of being a West Coast artist and then obviously fusing so much of the 808 and all of that. And I heard you all having that dialogue with him to say, let's do it again, kind of, sort of like turn that down, turn that up. So I thought, okay, this is good. As it relates to what you just shared, you all really, really turned it up to the fact that you wanted to make certain that it was perfect. And I think that's just so dope. Yeah. That you had that work ethic as a young person. Right. Wanting to be, so strong in the industry. And obviously you had to be, because look what you were coming up with. Yes.
Yeah. We didn't realize it. We didn't realize it. Like you never, I put a picture up once of, it was me in the studio looking at Dre. And I think I put the caption was, if only I would have known what I know now, as far as like how big this would be. We had no idea. That wasn't what the goal was when we went in to do our album. The goal was to just have fun, make music that we love, hang out with NWA, have fun with our brothers. Like there was no goal. There was no, we want to be number one. We want to hit the Billboard. There was none of that. We just did what we loved. And it just so happened to take off.
That's awesome. I think and I've heard that a few times with you all. I think that when you do that, it takes the pressure off of having to be number one or having to be on the billboards. You're just doing it with the passion and the rest of it just flows. So I think that's a good message, when you're really into what it is that you want to do. So definitely that's dope. Now, as it relates to the females, because we know you got a lot of love from the men, of both coasts. So as it related to the females, how did that go?
Well, that was a little different. But in all honesty,
that was a little different.
In all honesty, it's kind of our fault. We started it. So what we thought is that the way for us to get out there and the way for people to recognize us, for us to just diss every single person on the East Coast. Just diss them, because that's the only way that we're going to get noticed. And boy, oh boy, did it work, because they came at us with a vengeance, especially Roxanne Shante. But the funny thing is that we had never, there was never any animosity. It was all on wax. like we had never even met her or anything. We were just talking all this mess, you know. We'd never even met her. We had no reason to dislike her. She had no reason to dislike us. So when we came together as adults, like we just went on her show. I would say like maybe
I saw that.
and
I was like, oh, good.
But she is amazing. I love her as my sister. It's just so funny how we grow, you know, and how we don't hold, you know, grudges and hard feelings for something that we were just doing as a gimmick.
Yeah, definitely that. But now, were you all compared to Salt and Pepper? When, I mean, of course, you all were in the same time frame. So were you compared to them at all?
We still are to this day. It's like we're interchangeable. And I don't like, especially on TikTok, because it was so funny. I had to embarrass this little girl. She said she was rocking out to Supersonic and she had on a Salt and Pepper t-shirt. And I said, I duetted her back and I said, girl, thanks so much for the love. I said, but next time you jam to Supersonic, don't wear a Salt and Pepper shirt. she
like,
was so embarrassed. I was like, I'm just giving you a hard time, because she was young. She had no idea. She thought it was us. You know, it was so funny. And TikTok just got a kick out of that. So I felt bad because people were like, she doesn't know. She must be young. And you know, they went off on her. So I felt so bad that I messaged her and I said, I'm so sorry, girl. I was just giving you a hard time. She goes, I'm only in high school and I thought that you guys were the same. So I sent her like a personalized autographed t-shirt, a picture, and a friendship bracelet, and told her, girl, it's all good. But I felt bad because they were on her like crazy on TikTok.
Y'all still starting stuff 25 years later.
It was cute though.
Still at it. Like, leave the ladies alone. So you did the dish with Roxanne Shante. Was there anyone else?
We just everybody on the East Coast. But I think that rivalry was the biggest one.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Just the fact that you all came up with that. But now your story behind that is one of your brothers on the West Coast kind of preempt that or encourage that.
Yes. Yeah. Ice Cube wrote a lot of the diss records for Roxanne Shante. And I think the reason why he got so mad is because after we did it and she came back, we was just gonna let it go. He was like, let it go. Oh, hell no, we ain't letting it go.
That is wild. And what year was this that all of this was taking place?
Like 88, 89.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So
we had the diss tracks in 88.
Yes. And actually the one that we came back on is called You're Going Down. And it's actually one of our most popular diss records. It was really good. And that's all because of Ice Cube's pen. Wow.
That's history, guys. Yes. Yep. You have a song that sounds similar to someone's song that we know, and you all's title is It Love?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Talk to us about that inspiration.
And it was an inspiration. It totally was, because we didn't know. Like I said, we were new. We had never been, rappers before. This was all new to us, and we wanted to do. We heard LL's is what was his called?
I Need Love.
I Need Love. Okay, dang, I'm getting old. I forgot the name. So we heard that. We were like, oh, that'd be so cool if a female version did it. And it wasn't like an answer back. It was just our own version of like what he did. So yeah, he definitely was an inspiration. We thank him to this day for that, because that was a pretty popular song too.
It sounds like it. And who did the production?
Dre.
Oh, wow. I mean, the track is probably what gives it away, because it sounds so similar. But that definitely. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, I see. Dre, we're gonna need you to keep everything on the West Coast, okay? You was too much on the East Coast getting the vibes. Stop it. So touring and such, when you all were so young, what was one of the, I guess, your most standout moments? What was something that was really memorable to you guys when you were traveling, touring?
Something, I'll give you something that's funny and then something that we treasure. The funny thing is that we were so new, we didn't have money. So our bus was called the Green Machine. Everybody else was rolled around these big luxurious tour bus, and here we come putting in our green machine, and boy, people would laugh because it was literally green. So people were like, what the hell is that? So they would laugh at us, they would tease us, all the guys would tease us, and we were like, shut up, it's getting us from point A to point B.
Okay.
And one of their luxurious buses broke down. And I was like, oh, we're still rolling with the green machine.
Right.
So that was the funny story. And then the touching one was, and this is about Baby D. She was only 15. So after a show, we had all decided that Sassy C and I were like 22. So we had decided that we all wanted to go out to a club after the show and hang out and have, drinks and fun and meet the fans and everything. But Baby D couldn't go because she wasn't old enough. So DMC from Run DMC, he said, I'll stay here with her. I'll babysit. And then we were like, you don't have to do that. The girls will all just stay here. And he was like, no, you have fun, because I'm not really that into that anyway. He said, I'll just stay here with her. We'll kick it for a little bit. And I have to stop right there, because nowadays people would be like, ew, you know what I mean? Like, she's 15, he's 25 or whatever. But that wasn't the vibe at all. That was like his little sister. Okay. So he stayed behind. They did dance moves. They wrote records together. They wrote raps together. They did all kinds of fun stuff. When we got back, they were like, listen to this track. We did a song together, So they really, to me, that was so touching that he would sacrifice his fun to be there for his little sister, so she didn't feel like she was ruining everybody's fun. So that was always really a touching story for me, and they had a blast.
Yeah, that's so nice. And again, in the same situation, I had another conversation, and I said how the men of those days showed so much respect for the women, and that I cannot continue to reiterate is that in that day there was all respect. Yeah, the legends guys understand that it was no calling them out of their name, talking reckless to them. All of that, it was strictly love, strictly respect. And I love that. I think that we have to understand that in this day and time, especially because we're going back to that music for motivation and inspiration, that we need to understand that there was no disrespect. And this story definitely points to that. So that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And hopefully others will hear that and understand there was no bees and all that good stuff back in the day.
There was in the NWA camp. But
we're not talking to them right now. We're talking to you.
Here's the difference, though. Here's the difference. That was on wax, because I actually, being the person that I've always been, was like, well, why do you guys, say that? You're going to get backlash. Like, why are you calling them bitches? Why are you calling them hoes? Like, what is the purpose of doing that? And somebody, Eric and Dre, I think, sat me down. They were like, look, are you a bitch? And I'm like, no. Are you a hoe? No. Then we're not talking to you. So anybody that's taking offense to that must be either one of those things or feel some kind of way about it, because they actually may be that. But if you're not that, you have nothing to worry about. And that from that point on, I was like, dang, you're right. Why should I feel that way if they're not talking about me?
Right. Well, at least they gave you clarification. Yeah. It didn't seem like it was a blanket statement. Exactly. And that's the part now. Yes.
So and the way that they were in the studio and around us totally contradicts what they put out into the atmosphere.
Sure. That's awesome. Yes. So, and speaking to, the time that you spent with NWA and the time that you spent with, the girls and such, I think that there's one thing too, that I know Baby D isn't here with us, but I do want to get it in. She had this beatboxing. And I love it, because I used to think that I could do it too back in the day. And all love to Dougie Fresh, who is my inspiration on why I thought I could do it. Well, he and the Fat Boys, but for Baby D, who inspired her to do the beatbox?
She was definitely inspired by the Fat Boys, Dougie Fresh, all of them, but her most inspiration came from her brother who taught her how to beatbox.
Okay.
That was the first time that she realized, hey, I can do this too, you know, and she was really good at it. And the saddest thing is she does not get the recognition that she deserves. She was the first female beatbox that anybody had ever heard of, and everybody fails to mention that, and she can still beatbox to this day.
She can still beatbox.
To this day.
But now, to your point, was there any other female beatboxers? Now, I may have missed that. I was going to say I didn't recall any other females.
No.
So I wonder why she doesn't get the recognition.
I don't know. I'm not sure why, you know, there's a lot of things that we don't get the recognition that I feel that we deserve, but it's starting to, people are starting to come to the realization that, dang, they really did start Ruthless. They really are the first Grammy nominated females. They really are, you know, people are starting to recognize it now. So we're getting more props than we normally do. But that is huge for that little body, for her, that she's tiny, to be able to spit all that beatbox with all that bass. You know, she really deserves more recognition than she gets.
Oh, so are you all planning to do any live tours after, I guess, this thing opens back up? Because I know you all were kind of doing something before the COVID. It appeared you were moving. So are you all planning a new tour?
Yes, we start in June.
Okay.
We have 2 in June, and we have 2 in December so far. And hopefully in between those dates we'll fill in, and I'm sure they will, you know, once everybody gets to open back up and more people get vaccinated. So we're going to get right back on our tour schedule.
Yes. So we're going to need Baby D to put that on a t-shirt, original beatbox, female, whatever. We got to move the t-shirt so she can make that known. And that'll be a hashtag. And then we'll have Sonic sponsor it so you all can keep going, and you don't have to have the green machine this time. So, so if you all listen, yes.
I'm going to have her beatbox something and put Sonic on it somehow. And then that's a good idea. Like, thank you.
Anytime, call me. I'll go with you. Don't worry. Yes, you got to do it, because as we all are doing now, is giving the flowers. We want to give you all the love, the thank yous, gratitude, all of the things that you guys deserve. And if we can, you know, shed light on any of these things, it should be. I mean, you all do deserve to get the recognition as being a female group very early on, up against a lot of awesome male groups, probably all of my favorites in that time, and you all hung in there. So and even with that, you all went platinum with your label, which was awesome, to be the female group of that, because then you all should have felt like, you know, okay, you all need to move out the way because we got this.
Yeah,
we got this. So all of it is just beautiful. It's just something to be celebrated, to be excited about. And obviously you all still have new things coming, and I think that that's awesome that you still have the ability to perform and do what you love. And it's great that you're able to kind of carry it when they aren't available, and you all can still show up as the group and, you know, do the things that you all wanted to do, and maybe even more. Did you all travel abroad a lot when you were touring at the beginning?
We went to the Philippines. I think that's the furthest that we went. That was kind of exciting because nobody spoke English, but when we were on stage, everybody knew every word to Supersonic. So that was so cool to hear somebody who doesn't even speak English but knows every word to an English song. That was kind of
something.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I mean, and I think to, you know, to those that are abroad, they love hip hop. I mean, in so many places, they, you know, Australia, Germany, obviously, they love hip hop. So you know, when you all get opportunity to circle back, I'm sure that will be well received and excited for you all to do that. Now, you did tour with Salt and Pepper as well.
Yeah, we did a couple spot dates with them. That was fun. They're great girls. We had a really good time with them. And I used to do a radio show, so I had Salt interview on my radio show, and that was pretty cool too. They're really, really nice girls.
Yeah, and they're now, as I was getting ready to say, their biopic was good, but now you guys have a biopic coming as well.
Yes, so excited!
Congratulations! Yes, yes.
You.
So, I won't say what the influence, obviously, but what do you all have kind of in the mix for that? It's telling how you all came together or just how you all survived as a group. What is that going to be?
Yes, it's we haven't decided if we wanted it to be kind of like a documentary style or if we wanted to actually do like a biopic. So, or motion picture. We still have all three of those options. So we're deciding what's going to be best for us. And yeah, we just want to tell our story. We want to tell what it was like being on Ruthless Records, how we started, how we met, how we just came to be, because a lot of people are interested. So we want to tell the story.
Yeah, that would be the character part I like a lot. You know, when you have people that kind of act out, you know, whatever the life story is. So, you know, that part is always interesting to really get into, you know, what you all had going on in your private space, and then obviously as a group, and then even depending upon how far you guys are going to go into your story. So yeah. And when do you think that may come out?
We are just in the beginning stages, so I wouldn't think that it will be this year, probably early 2022. So we're still getting funding. We have the producer. We have everything that we need. It's just getting the story on screen, how we want to do it. Because if it's not right, we're not doing it. So I just want to make sure it's the way we want it. I don't want to put anything out there that's not perfect, because that work ethic. So,
well, you have the perfection. You have that down to a science. And obviously, now, was it an idea brought to you all, or did you all come up with the idea?
We came up with the idea, and we just had a couple of people that said, "Oh, I'll do it," you know. And then at first we were like, "Oh, okay," like trusting people. And then we came to realize that everybody is not who they say they are, you know. So then we put it on the back burner till we found somebody who we all agreed was the right person. He's from Compton. He's hungry, and he's got his stuff together. So we're excited to work with him.
Yeah. Your adult self, what would you tell your younger self?
I would say Dookie chains and cars are not what you want to spend your money on.
Everybody needs one of those. No, just playing.
We wish that, we don't say this though, we wish that we would have had like a financial advisor to tell us what to do with the money. Because us being so young, we were like, oh, we got another $20,000. What kind of car can we get? Oh my gosh, let's go to the swap meet and buy some gold chains. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't have guidance. We didn't like invest. We didn't buy homes. We didn't do any of that stuff. And it was simply because we didn't have direction. So if I were to tell my younger self, I would say, figure out what to do with this money.
Yeah. And even now, just not to get too into it, but I'm curious as it related to contracts. Did you feel like you had that solid?
Yes. I feel like, which was a blessing. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, he did this and he did that, but Jerry Heller treated us well. We got our own publishing. He made sure that, you know, we were paid on time, the right way. He took his percentage that he wanted, you know, that he wanted to take, or he took that was fair. You know, he just made sure our name was on everything. He trademarked our name for us in our name, you know. So we don't have any complaints with him. I guess our contract was different than theirs, but he did us great.
And did you negotiate it, or you had someone to negotiate for you?
We didn't do any of that.
He just wrote it for you. Okay. Well, that was a blessing.
Yes. And I think because we were females, it was a little different. I think he felt like, let me take care of these girls. You know, let me make sure they're okay. And we had a relationship with him. He was Uncle Jerry to us. So we were very close to him. Our video for Is It Love, we have on these denim jackets that are all rhinestoned out. He bought those for us. So, right. Yeah. So the relationship that we had with Jerry was very family and endearing. And I just think he really wanted to take care of us.
That's awesome. So that's great. You guys had a better situation in the industry than, you know, some of the others. You all had more family. environment than you did horrific experiences and disrespect and all of that. So that's positive. It's positive, and I'm glad that you guys have been able to continue. Now you're into how many years now with your Supersonic single?
33.
Wow.
33.
Wow, not telling our ages, but wow.
Yeah. It's a long time.
It's a long time, and still to be sitting and talking about it and still singing it and Baby D beatboxing on it and all that great stuff. It's awesome. I do appreciate definitely your talent, your contribution again to what you guys have been doing, and all of the positivity and those things that you are still putting out on TikTok and on your social media pages. And I've seen you in a couple of parties and that kind of thing. So it's great to still be mixing with the fans and keeping it. And then we look forward to your biopic, and we're going to look forward to the tour when that happens. Any particular place you want to go first?
We already have it set. In June, we'll just be in San Bernardino, California, which is actually really cool for us because that's our home.
Yeah.
We're excited for that one. We're super excited because in December, we're going to Belize.
Nice. Okay, I'll be there. So just make sure that you send me the information. I'll be there. Yeah. No problem. Tell her I'll wear the t-shirt and all. I'll make sure I promote on that trip.
Love it.
I will be there. That is awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, we have JJ Fad. Well, we have one of the members of JJ Fad, and she'd like to, we want to say MCJB, but we know it's JB. It's fine. But please share your social media, so if anyone wants to find you on TikTok or otherwise, they can do so.
Okay, Twitter is at JJ Fad, Instagram is at JJ Fad, Facebook is at JJ Fad, TikTok is at official JJ Fad.
Okay, good enough. Thank you so much for joining Champagne and Conversations. We appreciate your time. We know that you're out there soaking up the sun, and I'm so jealous. Yeah, I'm so jealous of that. And
I'm glad it went down. I was getting hot. I was getting sweaty.
Well, listen, were you glowing? So don't worry about it. You did it the right way. The whole you just do this and keep it moving. You did it well. Cheers to you, my dear. I do appreciate you. And look, I done sipped a little too much, I think. So mine's gone. But anyway. But thank you so much for joining us, and we will keep in contact with you so that all of the new things that are coming out, we'll continue to post those for all the fans. And much love and respect to you all. Please send that to the rest of the group, and we thank you.
Thank you. I want to say one more thing for those that are watching. Please help us in our campaign with Sonic Drive-In. Their social media is at Sonic Drive-In on all social media platforms. Bombard them with use JJ Fad. You got to use Supersonic Girls for your promos. So we're trying to get commercials, spokespersons, whatever it takes, whatever we can get from Sonic. We're trying hard. So with the fans, that'll just push us over the edge. So you guys help us out and keep supporting.
Absolutely. I'll do it as soon as we finish. I'll put it on my page and add them for the things that we posted already.
Nice.
Awesome. Yes. Okay, love. Take care, and we'll talk soon.